the moolah, stole like Medusa. Ballin' like Musa, 96, just to fix her. Mixing the liquor, getting the liquor, calling it Henny. Yeah, fucking with Benny, you gon' get nothing, no penny. Yeah, I know Jenny, she is daddy, she fuck with plenty. Yeah, talking this shit, you gon' get hit, you gon' get slapped up. Yeah, all of my niggas got a stick, call that choppy. Yeah, nigga we know, your girl get sloppy. Yeah, we ain't talking, give you that copy. Yeah, staying true, ballin' like Kobe. Yeah, coming through with a new thing, that's my new team. Yeah, she like the ring, back again, we got a new steam. Yeah, all of these niggas be hating no king, we gon' get love. All of these niggas be giving a dub, all of they bitches be giving a hug. Talking that shit, you gon' get the plug, fucking with us, me and Dave, we the new wave. Better hop on before it's too late. We stacking money and catching new play. Nigga, we ballin' like Randy Moss. All of these niggas go for a toss. Nigga, I ain't never got a drink from divorce. Niggas know I be a big boss. Niggas know I been in the source. Clean like teeth, nigga, always gon' floss. That bad and hit you with a cross. Yeah. BYB, and you know we stacking green. Yeah, she love me, cause she love the winning team. Yeah, you ain't me, cause you know I'm winning me. Yeah, if we gone to the party, yeah, right there. Yeah, we finna blow it all, yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there.
Mic check. Sorry about that. It's the last take. It's the BBA podcast, man. It's like a game show somewhat. We're going to debate topics. And I got my crew with me. First up, I got my boy Beezy, of course. What's up?
What's good?
All right. Who else we got? We got my guy Loaded.
In the building.
Yes, sir. And last and third, last and not least, my guy Moni. What they do, boy?
Standing in, you feel me?
I'm feeling good, doing good, my brother. I'm putting a little more music. I'm sorry about that shit.
Glad to hear that, OG.
You feel me? I missed you last night. I missed you last night, man.
I'm a young nigga. I need some sleep. It'd be like that.
Oh
wow.
You're a young nigga, need some sleep. That's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Makes no sense.
That's not even adding up.
It's not adding up at all. But yeah, make sure y'all tonight. We still shooting the episode tonight for BBA Fast Break. We're gonna have the original crew back. We're gonna have my guy Drop. We're gonna have my boy Hubs, Money. We're gonna have special guest, the Range Demon. He's gonna be with us. Hopefully, we can get the champ tonight, Ernie. Also, Ernie the champ. So I think Ernie, we have a topic for Ernie. I think he might be the first topic. That's cool with you guys. But anyway, this how this show works. We're gonna do a topic. It's gonna be open discussion. Each contestant is gonna get a couple of minutes to talk, explain their point, and then we're gonna have a scoreboard at the bottom of who won the topic. So the guys in the chat, you also can comment. See, if Loaded had a good opinion, you can say, "Hey, Loaded, Beezy, or even Moni." But I'm gonna be the one to put the point in. So whoever could tell me, whoever could convince me that I guess the most, who has the best point, I'm gonna give them the point. So we got at least 5 or 6 topics, and let's have a good show, fellas. So first topic, we went through a season. Ernie played against Monty. He won the championship. How you feel about that, Monty? I never got your opinion about that.
Yeah, that nigga cooked me. He played some great basketball. I couldn't guard that nigga. It was what it was.
Right. My thing was, I wish you would have took a nap and came back the next day. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Why you trying to run this shit in one day?
I wanted us to get to the offseason, no cap. I thought I was gonna win. I did think I was gonna win. But
don't ever fall for that. It's a setup.
No.
You're the one who told me a long time ago. It was me and Beezy played. Me and Beezy played one time. I said, run it back. Nigga said they run it back curse for real. I ran it back and got blowed out. I said, this nigga gonna run it back.
Shit is real, boy.
Eric no, keep playing. I said, no, money, get out, go sleep. Your ass hop back on, got whooped. I was like, damn. But congratulations to Ernie.
We had 2 OT runs though, so I ain't that mad. We had 2 OTs.
Yeah. Like I said, man, Ernie was the first topic, man, because he's the champion. Congratulations to Ernie. But the question for the day for the podcast is, can Ernie run it back and for a repeat? We're gonna see if that's so. So first up, I got my boy Beezy gonna tell us why Ernie could repeat and why he can't repeat. You up, Bees?
I'm gonna say that Ernie probably will not repeat it. And the reason I'm gonna go with this is because the West is such a wild card. It's really just about matchups, who you got. In general, like we all can really take each other out. I think Ernie's team is good for sure. It's definitely one of the top rosters, definitely one of the top users. It's just a matter of just who we gonna match up with. I feel like, you know, with the Raw match, I think that's what Raw kind of messing with McDaniels at the 4, kind of give more of that wing defense. But I'm gonna say nah. You got a chance, but I'm gonna say nah. We doubted him, but I don't know if you're gonna do it again. And this is a year to win it too.
Bet. I like that. What you got loaded?
I mean, look, if I had to put a number to it, I'm gonna give them a 25% chance to repeat. The Rockets are still a good team. Obviously, you got Jalen Green, you got Jabari. They're about to reach that prime, or they're already in their prime. They're a strong team. Kawhi is still there to play the defense. As far as the West goes, I think the West, in my opinion, really just comes down to Rockets and the Wolves. Right now, Ra is playing hungry. He's 13-3. Like, he's got Jason Asamoto, a good pick from this year's draft, who's going to be able to play that 4 and that 5 for him, which gives him the opportunity to do these other stuff. I think James Bouknight playing the 1 now. You get to leave Holiday on the bench more, or even rotate between two guys who could really attack the rim and shoot in Bouknight and Anthony Edwards. So that's going to be another tough matchup again in the conference finals, I believe. But the bigger issue is going to be the East. I think that you still have to deal with the idea. Orlando's going to be coming back hungry. Obviously, they just got LeBron. That's going to be something he's got to worry about. You go into Detroit. They lost in the conference finals, and now we got Jaden Ivey and Trae Young playing next to each other. There's just a lot of competition and a lot of players developing out everywhere. It's going to be tough. And I think that when you have that target on your back, it makes it harder for everything else. So he might get knocked out by somebody before he gets to the conference finals if he doesn't keep shooting crazy.
Hold on, good point, loaded. Give me a second, right quick. I see what's going on in the chat. This is new. Also, I like to say I've been affiliated. I guess you can subscribe to my page.
Hey,
now.
my nigga affiliated now.
Hey, congratulations!
Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate everybody's support watching, but we have an issue going on in the chat. I guess it's showing long ass ads. It's like a minute, maybe.
Damn.
I'm not. So I guess they probably didn't catch everything we said. So we're gonna keep going, but I will address that issue for the next stream. So I'm sorry about that, fellas. I'm sorry about that. Good point, loaded. Were you finished?
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm sorry about that. Loaded. No, loaded. Money. What you got next, man? What you got?
I mean, yeah.
You missed what Loaded said. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my nigga Loaded. You might have to go on a repeat.
I mean, look, man, like I said before, like a 25% chance. I mean, it really comes down to, like I said, the Wolves and the Rockets for me in the West. In my opinion, obviously the Rockets, you just won a championship. They didn't make a lot of changes. The Wolves made a couple changes I like. Like I said, Jason Asamoto was a good pick for me in the draft for them. Obviously, you had the issues with Jabari. Kristaps and Rudy are still going to play the 4 and 5. And now Asamoto could go in at 3. He's going to be able to shoot the ball. He can hit the rim. James Bouknight being there next to Edwards, you could, shift their minutes. Always have somebody who can attack and hit that rim, which Ra likes to do. He's going to hit those dunks. He's going to be able to shoot the ball. It's important to have players who fit into your, into what you want to do. And I think that the Wolves have a lot of that. Like I said, the bigger issue for me is the East, because if you can get past Ra, LeBron is in Orlando now. Trae Young and Jaden Ivey with Bam in Detroit. Those teams are still there. They saw what it was like to lose, and they were the ones who made the biggest changes to their rosters in terms of that. So if those guys can get it together, get those teams linked up, I think it's going to be very hard for the Rockets to, win again. I think Orlando, out of all those teams, probably matches up the best with the Rockets. Although we just saw that finals, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it again.
I should too.
What you got, Money?
Hey, man. I think Ernie can make it again. Ernie's stick skills, he's up there. When I played him, he played at a level I ain't never seen. He was step back, crossover. His team's still the same and only getting better. They progressing. They got more badges. Honestly, I'm gonna give it like 75% chance. 4-3, they're improving. He got a better defensive roster. If he can make the schedule, he can play. I think he can make finals even too. His team is very nice, So it all depends. But I can see Ernie going back there, because he's that dude. When nobody saw it coming, when he got into the playoffs, he did everything nobody thought he would. So 75% chance.
75% chance. That's a big number. That's a big number. I will say, like you say, Ernie, he surprised a lot of people. He's very talented. I expected Rod to win last year. But I think Kawhi done regressed a little bit. I mean, Kawhi regressed. Who did he add? Did he add anybody big? Anybody new?
So far, not really.
Nobody really.
So pretty much same team with I guess his young guys got better.
Thompson. It's not the
Klay Thompson. Okay, I like that.
You can say he had like a Cinderella run, low key, like the way he came in. Nobody saw that. So.
But like Loaded said, I feel like the East got stronger. Like your trade, not trade, but LeBron James. Like that's a big factor. Like just looking at the matchup of the finals, I think your team has got better than Ernie's team.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say 75% chance. I would go somewhere near like 30, 40. I think Pelicans the peak. I don't see 75%. I'll go 30 for Ernie, 30 to 40.
All right.
So if y'all in the chat, if y'all feel like whoever made the best point, let me know. But I think I like Loaded point. Loaded, he made some good points, and he made he brought some good teams up that could actually contend for the title this year.
True. What's up?
So with that being said, I'm gonna go with Loaded winning the first debate. Anybody got issue with Loaded winning the first debate?
Nah, it's cool.
Fuck Loaded. We can't say fuck Loaded, man.
Hey, man. Get used to me winning, bro. You get used to it. Get comfortable.
Hold on, not too fast, man. Not too fast. We ain't gonna get too comfortable. You winning all the debates. It's only been one debate. It's only 1 out of 1 right now.
That's perfect as far as I'm concerned. Get to the
It's
next
only
one.
1 out of 1 until the next one, right? All right, fellas. Let me see. You got Loaded 1 point. You see the score in the bottom. You got Loaded 1, Money 0, BZ 0 points for the first debate. Second debate, we had an off season, of course. Off season, some won, some lost. I think I lost. I don't think I won. I think people upset with me for what I was doing, but I don't care. But I will put myself in a loser bracket. But who do you guys think was the biggest off-season loser?
Shit, I'm trying to figure that out.
Loaded, it's on you.
All right, for my biggest off-season loser, it's the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, with all due respect to Bubba, he had a bad team last year, and there was a lot of free agents, and nothing happened. No trades happened. You're playing Nick Vucevic, Nick Smith Jr. Your big signings are Kobe White and TJ Warren. I just don't know what the plan is there. I don't know how that team gets better. The best thing they did all year was draft Robert Dillingham. And there's just nothing that is making me think that the Lakers are going to go from being a bottom dweller to any better of a team. I think that they needed to make some big trades, try to make something happen. Instead, we're seeing one of the biggest franchises in the league continue to be bad because leadership has not figured out how to do anything but bring in guys like I said before, TJ Warren and Kobe White. I just don't get it. And there's no teams that stood still or teams that brought the same players back were able to be better because there's just nothing that I see that will make you scared to go to Staples Center right now and play those Lakers teams.
I like that point. I agree with that. The Lakers, you're right. Was Bubba even around for the offseason? That's another thing.
Shit.
He was active in the chat for it, so he was talking through it. He was talking about people trying to sign players and all this other stuff, but
yeah,
I just didn't see the effort for him to try and make any move. I know a couple people messaged him trying to make some trades through. He had that pick. if you don't have value in terms of players you could move, that pick you had, Dillingham went fourth in the draft. You had a piece right there that you could have used to like, hey, a competing team wanted a young guy, and now you could bring a star player in to make some noise. Like something should have happened over there.
I agree with that because I feel like he has a lot of money left over, right? So he missed out. I mean, like the guy he got, his biggest free agent is Vucevic, right? Am I correct?
No, it's Kobe White. He signed Kobe White in free agency. That was his biggest one.
No, his best.
It's Vucevic.
Yeah, he signed.
I think even myself, that name right there, I knew I could get him the last day of free agency, Vucevic. I'm like, he's gonna be there. If everything fails, I could get Vucevic. I knew that could happen. So, because Kibbles got him last year, and he was in the free agency beginning of the season. So it's not like he's not a player. People don't. He's a person you could use for a 1-year deal or 1-year rental, to the next season. But this was the season I felt like you got Tatum's, you got the Giannis's, it's like 20 great players in this free agency that he missed out on all of them. So I do think maybe he wasn't available, could be a part of it, but to miss on all those people, that is an L. So I do like your point, Loaded. Let me see. I like your point, valid point. What you got, Beezy?
I'm gonna disagree. I think that the LA team it doesn't look pretty, but for what progressed, it's not bad. It's a decent offensive team. I think it's a little bit of user issue, maybe. I'll probably go with, if you're gonna go off-season loser, just off of just what probably transpired, I'll probably go with Boston Celtics. I don't think the fit kind of goes well with the team. I don't think he got Jimmy Butler in a trade for Embiid, but you basically traded a Jimmy that's gonna regress. You got Kuzma, who really, you know what I'm saying? It's a certain kind of user. You're gonna have to use Kuzma and get the best out of him. Other than that, you look at the roster. It's not a lot of shooting. Not a lot of guys who can create their own shot. Like Jimmy's not necessarily a guy that can really create his own shot. His 3-pointer regressed to a 68 now, so it's kind of tough to say with that. So I mean, that's basically gap defense. So I think I'll probably go with Boston. I understand the idea that Vucevic is your best player, that is an issue. But when you really look at the roster, you look at from what he was able to do with Tatum with Embiid now to just Jimmy Butler or regressing Jimmy Butler being your best player, who really is just really effective in one way. I'm gonna have to go with Boston instead.
Great point. I like that. I would say for sure in the East, that might have been the worst off season. As far as team, as far as moves, because like you said, you went from Tatum and Joel Embiid to Jimmy Butler just regressing, from a trade that happened. It was a trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you trade the best big man for a regressing small forward, so that's a loss too. Like that shouldn't have been a trade, that shouldn't even been on the table. You should have kept the best big man in the league in the game. I think that just keeping Joel or Tatum would have been a win for the Celtics, but you lost both of them and got a regressing small forward. I mean, Butler's a good player still, but the roster didn't get better. It got worse by a lot because Jimmy, your best player, and you got Kuzma. I don't see like what kind of identity. I see defense, Jimmy, but the other guys, it looks like they don't play defense. So it's like, what kind of team is this? Is it? I don't see the balance on this team no more. So I do like your point, Bees. I do like your point with the Celtics. Anybody else like Bees' point on that part?
Yeah, BZ took the one I was gonna take, but
really,
he lost Tatum in the free agency. I don't know if they offered him the max or what, but he traded for Jimmy. He lost Tatum, and then he didn't even approve another signing. So the team just all around got worse. It's just a whole bunch of old niggas that can shoot the three, but they're not even good enough to even get off a three. So, nothing happened with this team. This team is just terrible now. The potential is gone. I don't know what's going to happen with that one.
Okay, so are you agreeing? Are you saying Boston's also your pick for the worst?
Yeah, Boston's the one for me. At least I know what's going on with the Lakers. The Lakers, they young. They even picked up Marvin Bagley, that great young power forward. He got a little something. The Celtics is just ass. I don't know what they doing over there.
Listen, man. If the Lakers and the Celtics played right now with their rosters as they are, which team wins?
I'm taking the Lakers.
I'm taking the Lakers.
I'm easily taking Boston.
I'm
I'm
taking
easily
Boston.
taking Boston. They have
Lakers.
I'm taking the Lakers.
with that Boston team. I'm going to the rack. Jimmy is not getting stopped by Vucevic, and you have nobody who's guarding him in your starting lineup. T.J. Warren.
DeAndre Hunter.
I'm attacking that all day long. I'm attacking DeAndre Hunter all day long, and then on the other side, you can't go get buckets against me. I just feel like with that Lakers team, you are going to be asking them to just shoot the ball, and I don't think that you're going to be able to do that against Boston. In terms of matchups in their own conference, there's not a single team in the West that I think the Lakers can match up with and beat. In terms of the East, Boston is still going to win games against those teams in Washington. He played a close game with Milwaukee last night. Like, there's teams that he can still beat and still play against with that roster the way it's set up. I just don't understand what your offensive game plan is going to be with the Lakers when the 3-ball doesn't fall.
You know what's funny? You got it. You got it, money.
No, what'd you say? What you saying?
No, cause I really think I will say this. I'm gonna edge it to Boston now because I thought about this trade they made with the Utah Jazz. All these guys he got from Boston for LA. There was something going to the offseason saying, you know, we have an identity. We have something we wanted. We got an identity somewhat. We just didn't get the guy we wanted, and we missed it. Versus Boston, they just lost everything and got nothing in return to me that was worth, like as far as your identity. But I think Lakers do have a direction, so they get all the young guys from Utah. So I'm leaning towards Boston. I'm leaning towards Boston, man. But you're right, Loaded. The Lakers, they do suck. They suck more than Boston.
Neither one are good. Neither one are good.
Jimmy's still a star. Jimmy is still a star. Yeah. But other than that, like, I don't see it. I see young talented in LA compared to old niggas with Jimmy in the Celtics.
I just don't see the fit. My thing is, you look at the Jazz scene. That's why I kind of gave it a user issue because Pedro was winning with a lot of these young guys before he made a LeBron trade. So you look at it, you see the identity that you built. Like Jarris Walker is a good defending power forward. You know, he was dunking on everybody with Nick Smith. He was going crazy with Nick Smith. So it's kind of like if Bubba was tapped into that team in some kind of way, you definitely got some small ball you can use. But I just don't see the identity with the Boston team. I just don't. It's too many of the same guys and not enough playmakers.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. I'm going with Celtics, but we have a tie with Money and Beasley. So I guess both y'all gonna get points. No need for a tiebreaker right now. That comes later. All right. So we were rocking with Money and Beasley point. So it's a tie ball game so far. Tie ball game. Or should we just call who had a better opinion? Or should we just give them both a point? We freestyling, fellas.
That's on you, man.
You know, my nigga Beasley did.
I think Beasley had it better because he
Beasley did say it first. It was on my temple though before that nigga even thought of it.
So I'm getting a point to Beasley because he did pretty much say like the Lakers do have an identity at least, you know. Celtics just the offseason it didn't go. We don't see the plan for the Celtics. We didn't see the plan. So I'm going Beasley 1 point. Easy and loaded. Oh, I fucked that up. All right, so we have losers. We also have winners, right? So next topic, we're gonna have off-season winner. Who won the off-season? Since Money's in losing, we're gonna let Money go first on this topic. It's only right.
Who won the off-season?
Personally, you know, personally, I'm gonna say I won the all season.
Talk your shit, dog. Talk your shit.
You feel me? I kept the same team. I got the same nigga. We got LeBron. We got Paolo. We got Xavier. We got Julius Randle. We got 3 of the niggas all the same. All do the same thing. All play make. You know, and they play defense. I think. You know, I got the defense. I got the offense. And I think any team I match up with, I can outscore and I can out defend. And we still young. We still young. I do. We're still progressing. You know, I still got a lot of rookie contracts, a lot of rookies that score, Keontae score off the bench. He 10 points off the bench. You know, LeBron get all the assists. You know, everybody got a job and they all go get
I agree with you because I had you winning as far as off season. I did have you winning. I felt like, you know, it was obvious. It was like this guy, he lost the championship. How you gonna come back next season? I felt like you were the most aggressive in free agency. Like, I think everybody went for the Tatums, went for the Giannis. I did see LeBron. I saw LeBron. I was like, he might make it to day 2. Why did anybody think LeBron make it to day 2? I don't know. So nobody bidded on LeBron. Who all bid on LeBron? You and who else?
I was the only one actually, because nobody. The Capital 48. I pay him 48, so that's a lot. I mean, niggas paid Tatum what 50?
Check that out. How much Tatum get paid? He got a high offer. Everybody was going for Tatum. Like 6 offers on Tatum, maybe 6
and I can
on
understand.
Giannis.
That's young defensive 2-way. You know, score the ball, everything.
So it was crazy to see LeBron like get overlooked like that because we all saw him there. But we like, he's 40 years old. Who want to spend $40 million on a 40-year-old? But it's LeBron James. How far can he regress from another 94th? Well, he's a 91 now, 93. What's LeBron overall?
He's an 89, I think.
89?
89 with a 90 boost right now.
90 boost, yeah.
Okay, so he's still a top player. I mean, he's still a top 90. So I mean, that's still a steal for a championship. Talking about a finals team to get a 90 added to your roster.
Yeah, of course. I picked up Oladipo.
Yeah, you lost friends.
I'm very hurt about that.
But you got LeBron, so that's a win, especially like I say, your finals team. You lost a young guy, but you got the best. You got one of the best players ever. You know, so that's a win.
Is a 9.
So I do like your point. I had the Magic winning as far as off season. But what you got loaded?
I mean, for once, me and Moni are on the same page. I do want to shout out some of the other teams that, you know, I did like the Thunder's all season. And then the Thunder's all season I liked because they stayed patient. They had all the stars are there. All the players are there. It's just getting the gameplay right on the court. So I want to shout them out because I did consider them. But it's the Magic. I mean, at the end of the day, you lost Franz Wagner and you brought in LeBron James. And they did something that I consider a football move. You have those young guys right now. You have Xavier. You have Paolo. You have Rocco and things like that. And now you have to bring in a big money free agent on a deal that will expire before your guys start to cost you money. LeBron's on a 1 year. 1 year, $47 million seems like a lot. But when the rest of your guys are not getting paid big money, it works out. But the other thing that we're not talking about is if there was one player that I really didn't love for Orlando during their playoff run, it was Herbert Jones. Herbert Jones just didn't seem to fit what was going on. And what did Orlando do? They went and flipped Herbert Jones for Imani Bates and multiple picks. Imani fits into the scheme. He can shoot, he can drive, and he can hit all those crazy step backs that they love to take. He's going to be able to ISO in their format. As far as getting LeBron in, he can play the point guard if we choose to switch him there, play the small forward, the power forward. So anytime on the court, you have to worry about having Booker, LeBron, Paolo, or Julius, which means that those forwards and the centers are going to be running, and they're going to outpace you and then shoot the ball with Mikey, with Jalen Hood, with Rocco. It's just there's too many players on that team that you have to worry about, and by adding LeBron and Imani, I just think they got even stronger. Before you even mention it's a guy like Victor Oladipo, who I truthfully playing them you could barely even worry about because there's so many other pieces, and he can still shoot the ball and hit the rim himself.
Oh God, you right.
Hell of a take. He know your team better than you, I think, Money. He know your, but it's your team, so I mean, hey, that's a good observation by my guy Loaded. Beasley, who you got, man?
I'm gonna be the oddball here. And
we like that.
I'm gonna go with the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm gonna go give it a prime. Didn't like Trae Young. Didn't like the gameplay for him, so he flips Trae Young. And gets Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren has been going crazy for him, but now you look at his roster, it probably fits a little bit more. You still got a playmaker, kind of a shot creating guy in Simons or whatever that you can use. You still got DeJounte Murray to kind of help up because sometimes he's a smaller guy. He can also play make. while also he doesn't. You still have Dort. You really look at his team. He's probably have one of the best rebounding teams. With Zubac, he signed Zubac as well. A lot of people really didn't look to get him, but they definitely did. I mean, it's making a difference. And he also still has Jaren Jackson, who is still progressing. So you look at it, that front court is in the backcourt is pretty scary. And it says a defensive team. I say a runner-up. I say probably the Atlanta Hawks because it's kind of the opposite. But I definitely give it Prime. That'd be my guess. I do agree with y'all's point that the Magic did have a great offseason, but I'm gonna give it a Prime so his team fit.
He did make a great trade. Great trade. It was a great trade for him.
Yeah, he made some good moves. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. I think he did lose. I mean, Trey is a liability, I felt. So I guess that was a good trade. But I felt like even in that sense, I think Drop might have did better than him on the offseason.
The only reason I don't give it the Drop is for the fact that if you look at the Pistons bench, it's really now you can still spot play between Trey or BI. China BI was big, but the bench for the Pistons it's not as strong and solidified. Like it's definitely a whole more of identity with Prime. So.
Right. Do us a favor. Go to the Pistons roster right quick.
I got you.
I want to say last year he had the same team pretty much last year, but he added Trey Young and Ingram.
Yeah, Ingram. Yeah,
he really just lost Jalen Duren and who was he lose?
Duren and just Simons. Duren and Simons.
I mean, Drop went from
Luke Kennard.
He lost Luke Kennard, Simons. He lost Malcolm Brogdon. Like the players that he lost aren't a big enough concern with what he added, I guess. But like, I just think that those other teams are scarier. I mean, Bradshaw is cool. He came in the Trae Young trade. He signed Ochai Ajabi. I don't know where he played the year before that. And those guys fit into what he wants to do. I just don't think he's as deep as the other teams that we're mentioning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. So I guess you're right. Magic had the best offseason. I like the Detroit. I like Magic, but I also like Detroit as I think about it now. Maybe Prime did win the West. Maybe he did win the West.
Especially because if you look at Prime's record, it's much better than what it was any other prior season. He's balling out with that. He's balling out with Duren and JJJ.
For sure.
So I'm back in the chat, man. I feel like money. He's the Orlando Magic, so I would edge him. But like I said, Loaded made some good points about the Orlando team. So chat, who you got, man, between Loaded and money?
Yeah, Loaded made some good points.
I appreciate that, Rob. I appreciate that.
He made the right point. Money don't get no minutes.
You got to get in his bag for sure. I mean, that's all it is. I think. I mean, Loaded knew what he was doing when he came on this shit. He's a good
Listen, bro, I said this is what y'all want to do. Are y'all sure? They brought me on. What you gonna do? I'm not gonna half-ass it.
We appreciate that too. So Loaded, built for this. Can't lie. Damn, Loaded, you came in with that. Hey, you that nigga right now. All right, man. I did like Loaded point also. I liked his point a lot. I do like money because that's his team. But Loaded did sell his team better than he sold his own team. So we gotta go with Loaded, man. Loaded up 2-1 on BZN money. Let's update that scoreboard. You say you who? You hungry?
No. I said humble. I'm dead.
Okay, I don't know because I'm saying we do got ads now, so I don't know when the ad pop up. So if an ad pop up, let me know, y'all, in the chat, so I could postpone, so I could pause for a second. We don't want y'all to miss anything. I want to make sure y'all get the ads too. Watch them ads. And promoting all type of shit these days. So you might have to watch the whole thing. I don't know how that shit works, but I heard you watch it. That's good for the community.
Hey, well, I don't be want to watch raw ads either. I be backing out of that shit.
Don't down back out. Keep watching.
I be
support your content creators, man. What you talking about?
Yeah,
watch the ads.
Yeah,
watch them ads all the way through. That's why this man don't got no points. Look at him. He out here doing all this ghetto shit. You watch the ads. You don't refresh nothing.
Let me update the points. So we got Loaded with 2 points. We got my guy Bees with 1 point and Money with 0 points.
0.
0.
Trailing,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna come
Trailing
back
out
to-
here. All right. Next topic. Off season. Same topic. It's off season. We had losers. We had winners. We also had a lot of talent. So who was the best off-season player between Giannis and Tatum? All right, money. You want to go first? Or you want to sit back? You down? You want to fight back, or you want to sit back and see what they got to say?
I'm gonna always go first.
Wait. Let's slow it down because we're gonna give you some time. I want you to win this one. I want you to win this point.
Fight back.
I'm gonna give you time to think about it. Okay, I'm gonna give you time. Cause sometimes I say go. You're like, damn, what I'm gonna say.
I'll be on you.
So since Loaded so good with his, off the top. Loaded, who you got, man? Tatum or Giannis in season 4. Into season 4 after progression.
Listen, with the way that the game is in BBA right now, which is at the end of the day, with the way that we added layup time and things like that, I think it's post dominated. I think you have to worry about what you can do at the rack, and what you could do at the rack can change how you do things in terms of getting the 3-ball, running in pace, things like that. And I think Giannis is still the best player in BBA, and he's the best player that was available in free agency. Obviously, he came back to the Bucks, and we eventually traded him, but he was still the best player available. I think right now, if you're looking at their situations in terms of which team is in a better situation, Giannis is still in the better situation in Dallas than Tatum is in Utah. I mean, the second best player in Utah is Christian Woods, and then after that, it falls off a mile to Carmelo Anthony, who's about 100 years old. So, I mean, it's hard. When you're thinking about those players, it's like Tatum can shoot the ball. He can hit the rim as well. He's a little bit softer than Giannis. Giannis has a jump shot, but it's not as skillful as Tatum's, obviously. So you have to go to the other side of the ball. And Tatum is coming off of back-to-back Defensive Player of the Years in BBA. He's a great on-ball defender, whether he's playing against the 3 for those people who like to make those rotations and switch it to put him on one of the better players in most people's offenses, or he can play the 5 and he can shut down the paint, shut down most of these big men who all they can do is rebound. A lot of people aren't running stretch 5s in the league right now, which makes him just a factor everywhere you put him. And then he gets the rebound, he goes the other way. He can score 30, still get 5 blocks and 3 steals a game if he wants to. He can do whatever he wants. And although he's regressed a little bit, it's not enough to make it that he's not the best player in the league for me.
Great point. That's a great point. I'm not gonna say too much because it's only 2 players. But I do want to counter what you said on some of your points. But Beezy, who you got, man?
I'm going with Tatum. I'm going with Tatum just because of the fit, because of the user he's with Pedro. We obviously saw obviously I know what he did with LeBron and some bums. So the fact that he just got Tatum, which is arguably probably is one of the best players in BBA, top 5, easily top 3, easily. I'm gonna go with Tatum just for the fact of it gives Ernie. LeBron wasn't as good as a shooter as Tatum is in his old age, but Tatum is all that and can play defense. So, I think that's gonna be a big factor for Pedro going forward. He did pick up Cole Anthony and Okongwu to kind of fit his team out. The team isn't great. I do agree with the fact that the Mavs roster is better. He can probably use Giannis some different roles, but I'm definitely going with Tatum. I just think he's a better player. I think that it's going to be a matter of actually utilizing the player in the ways they're utilized. I don't think we haven't seen a step back Tatum yet. We didn't see it with Silent. We're definitely probably going to see it with Pedro. With Lou and Giannis, he's going to hit the 3 because he knows how to do it, but see a little cheese coming with that. But I'm definitely going with Tatum though.
Great point, Bees. I like everything you said. You too, Loaded. Money, what you got, man?
I'm taking Tatum. Giannis is nice, Giannis do everything. You guard whoever you want him to. But Tatum more crafty. He gets you from the 3, step back, post fade, take you off the dribble. Giannis. When I play Giannis, I know I can gap him. Like not everybody's confident to pull up with Giannis, and if you got a decent enough big to play defense, he's gonna get stopped. Like obviously Giannis is very auto bucket, but you can stop him if you got who you got, Joel Embiid, or you got a mid-tier defensive big, Charles Bassey on the Knicks. He can stop Giannis. Like, Giannis isn't that scary, especially with layup timing. If I see Tatum, I don't want to pass it near him. I don't want to put weak defenders on him. He's gonna kill me wherever he goes. So, Tatum better to me because Giannis is too simple. It's just Tatum's more complex.
Okay, I like that point because I think I was going to that point also about simple, not necessarily simple, but I guess Giannis is getting older. He did regress a little bit, slightly, but I will say what Pedro did, it helps Tatum argument because the team fits Tatum. It's catered to Tatum, his strengths. So he has no weaknesses. But I guess Giannis would have a weakness because he's not the greatest shooter. I mean, Tatum just he's a great defender. Giannis probably better on the rebounds, but I think Tatum can get his own boards, push just like Giannis, pull up anywhere he wants. He could stop anybody best player from point guard to power forward. Giannis could probably guard 1 through 5, but not many people putting him on the point guard. But Tatum, okay, what you got, Loaded?
Let's just say, we're talking about users here. Pedro's a great user, and although we give Lou a lot of shit, we're not going to sit here and say that he's not a great user. In terms of fit for a team, Fred is you put what you do for Giannis, you put shooters on him. Fred and Keldon can still shoot the ball. You have PJ who can still shoot the ball over there. The team fit is there for both of them. If you want to talk about users, let's talk about the teams that Pedro just played. No disrespect to him. Pedro's a great user. He just lost to a team in Indiana that we constantly complain doesn't have a great user and doesn't use the team to the full potential. And in that game, Tatum goes 9 for 22, and another next guy who scores in double digits is not this Onyeka that you guys are talking about. Like I said, it's Carmelo, and he had 14. You need to have the players. He does have Carmelo in Utah.
No, you don't got Melo no more.
You got Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony. I keep saying Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony had 14 points. Either way, you had a guy who you need players around him to score. Tatum is going to get focused. He's going to get locked in on. You can focus in on Giannis with whoever you want. If you double him in the post, you're opening him a shooter. If I double him on the outside and you're telling me you're going to give it into the point and try and make a layup with this layup timing that everybody's saying is harder, now you're taking away from what he needs to do, which is shoot the ball. I just don't understand what you think Tatum is going to do to stop him. Because at the end of the day, we know what Future does on defense. He's going to try and make you hit the rim. And when you can't shoot that ball because of the doubles, because of the switch all, what are you doing now? We're denying your best shooter. Get to the rim. We dare you. And if you can't, or you can't figure out a way how to, you're stuck with Tatum.
Yo, Bees, go to Dallas. Because I do. I mean, like I said, I think Tatum, what he does is just better fit for what he has. I mean, that goes to his teammates. But I feel like you're right. PJ could shoot. Keldon could shoot. They got shooters, but the way Giannis, he needs more. He needs defenders too, and they're not the people like Jared Allen. He could help out. You really don't need Jared Allen if you got Giannis. So I guess he's on the trading block. But you're talking about shooters who can't defend. So his supporting cast, Tatum supporting cast, is more for him. It makes him look better. Maybe that's what I'm saying. It makes him look better.
I just don't feel like when Giannis is on the floor, regardless if you can shut off all this shit, I'm gonna focus on Tatum, and don't worry about anybody else. Tatum's in a world of his own. I think it's gonna score regardless.
Absolutely, he's gonna score. I'm not debating that. What I'm saying is, we're talking about defense. If Giannis is playing the 5, Jared Allen's coming off the bench, right? You don't need defenders to help you in terms of getting I know, listen, Pedro, your team is good. I'm not saying that. I think that the problem that you're going to face is that Giannis playing the 5. I don't need great defenders around him because everything that's going to the paint, we are shutting down. We are blocking your shots with Giannis. I had him for 3 years. That's what we did. What we did was, hey, you could go to the rim. We're going to stop you. Now, if you beat me because you can hit a step back jumper, you can find a way to get the 3-point open, congratulations to you. But you're going to have to figure out how to do that. I just think that makes it more difficult for when you're playing him because defensively you're not worried. It's offense. And we're not going to sit here and say that Lou's problem in BBA has ever been offensive because he figures out how to score. His temperament has been an issue, but he is always going to find a way to guys to score. He makes one of the best playbooks. Let's call a spade a spade. When it was time to get playbooks, Pedro went and stole Lou's playbook because that's how good he is at play calling. In terms of creating a game plan for your team and making sure that it works, one of the best people to do that is Lou. And now you have a guy in Giannis who makes it nightmares for whatever he's matched up with all day long, same as Tatum.
A quick question. I don't want to make it about the users, but I will say, do you feel like Lou could win? I mean, should win with Giannis now? Because he had Luka, he had
win a championship.
He should win with Giannis, right?
I don't think Lou will ever win a championship. Let's be clear here. I also I don't think so. But like that's not because he's a bad user. It's because of the temperament. He gets in the moment and he gets too hot. He rides too high, and when things go wrong, he starts going too low. In terms of roster fit, if he makes the right moves with what he has left there, that's a competitive roster in the West. Yes.
Okay.
The adjustment that you have to make is in terms of matching up, I think he could beat the Rockets with that. He'd have to figure out, just like we said, Ernie needed to figure out a way to beat the Timberwolves. I think he would have to figure out a way to beat the Timberwolves. In terms of the things that happen in the West, I still think that Timberwolves team is the best roster and the cream of the crop over there. You have to figure out a way how to stop them.
I think his last team could beat the Rockets, the AD and Mitchell.
Yeah,
I think that team was more better for the Rockets because Giannis. I mean, once outside of Giannis, you could actually throw Kawhi on Giannis.
Throw Kawhi on Giannis if you want.
Yeah,
you throw Derek Lively.
You could throw Derek Lively.
If you want, you put Derek Lively there. Derek Lively's playing the 5, so Jabari's playing the 4, right? Jabari's playing the 4. I take Derek Lively and put him on Giannis. Jabari's playing the post against fucking Jared Allen all day long. I'm gonna dunk the ball until you get tired. And then you have to make a swap. I'm going to figure out a way to get shooters open because now you have to double. So if Kawhi's coming to help against Jarrett, Keldon's open. We're shooting you the lights out. Like I said, it all depends on scheme. Like you got to figure out what they're going to do. It's a long season. It's whether or not we're going to see the adjustment. Obviously, the Mavericks haven't played a game yet. I am giving Pedro flack because he lost the future, but
it's one of the best rosters though. Like it's one of the best rosters. So it's kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to argue that point, especially we haven't seen Lou with this team yet. The only time I've seen him use Giannis is he had Giannis and a turked up James Harden in one league, so that was just unfair. But I just think that we haven't been able to see Tatum's full bag get brought out, and I think that
it's coming.
That's where I think that Pedro's going to have it. And like I said, he got where he got with the same, quote unquote bums, but really you look at it, Cole Anthony's an upgrade. Cole Anthony progressed. Okongwu was probably one of the best defensive bigs in the draft, not in the draft, but in free agency. So I mean, you look at where he's progressed now, it's kind of tough to say, but I mean, I definitely get what you're saying. I do think that the Mavs are great. He can run matchups all day, and Lou does deserve his credit, but I don't know. Like I said, I kind of agree with Monty's point of you can it's easier to game plan against Giannis than it is Tatum in the sense because Tatum can score on all 3 levels versus Giannis is really only scoring on 2 levels really. And
like Pedro's saying, like if he was to run that nigga off cutters and pin downs, double screens is a whole different thing. Like I'm not. You can run Giannis off a double screen pin down, but I'm not worried about that nigga hitting that shit.
You.
Yeah, it's a preference. It's a preference, really, because we talking about it's like 6 other guys who 96. So they're not these 2 might not be the best, but off-season players, those are 2 guys.
Yeah.
So it's not really.
They're both top dogs. Both those guys won in terms of getting them, but like I said, to be fair, also Giannis did not sign with them in the free agency.
But I do like yes, Giannis is very. You double Giannis, is over. You like Giannis post up your big, he's in there. But I just don't worry about that.
Well, I'm gonna say this right here since it's really good debate. You can't go wrong either way. I'm gonna edge Tatum for 2 reasons because I feel like he had a better roster that makes him look better compared to the other team. That's just my opinion, and I would say my biggest thing is you traded his ass loaded.
But that's why I said in terms of the free
traded
agency, why my first point was who was the better player. Giannis is the better player. When you guys started talking about the roster around, I said we have to remember that Lou didn't get him in the offseason. Giannis played 2 games in Milwaukee before I traded him. The reason he was traded was my roster was lackluster. I went and found the person with the best roster in terms of pieces that they could send to me, and that just happened to be Lou. If I was able to sustain a roster that was competitive with Giannis, he would have stayed here. Instead, now we have a deeper roster and a team that is going to win games and hopefully make a run in the playoffs.
All right. Do me a favor, Bees. Go to players and see who the actual top player is between Giannis and
They're all 96. There's like 5 of them.
I know, but I guess when you sort them, they go to they might
the all players.
Who edge too. Luka, Mobley, John. I guess they edge and Tatum, or maybe there's not alphabetical order, but Luka would be the best, I would assume. Mobley is the newest of the 96s.
Oh, this shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. That nigga Evan Mobley looks insane.
And for the sake of debate, you know how they go. The younger guy, they get the younger guy the edge. I mean, as far as like Tatum, people they tired of Giannis in the real world of debates. But I will give the Tatum, man. I mean, anybody in chat feels something different? Giannis or Tatum? Damn, Mobley at 96.
Yeah, it's nuts. Well, you play like one though.
That's the question everybody got to wait for. You can have the players, but how do they play with you at the sticks? I mean,
yeah, I get you. I mean, I get your point. Like, but I think we talking about 96. We talking about. They say Tatum could score 3 different ways, 3 different levels. So I guess that's the point Bees was saying. Like he could shoot, he go to the rack. Any spot on the court, Tatum he has it. In defense, same thing. Giannis could probably guard more. He could probably block more shots and rebound, but Tatum could stop just like Giannis could stop people.
Where's Embiid at?
Embiid. So it's a tough one, man. But I'm gonna have to go ahead and give this one to Tatum. Tatum, cool.
Tatum, that nigga.
hey, man,
Is it 92?
This shit change every day. It could be Giannis next week by performance.
I mean, we'll have to see what the records are. Like I said, obviously Lou is away right now and he hasn't played a game yet. But they're both good users and both of them are gonna figure it out. They've been competitive with worse teams and they've been competitive with better teams.
If that nigga make it to a game.
Well, that was a good topic. I really can't remember what, as far as money, as far as what exactly did he say about Tatum, but I'm pretty sure it was some good shit.
I mean, desperate to give him a point.
Oh God, this nigga
Can't have a shutout on the first episode.
We can't.
This nigga.
I won't shut my boy money out because they like, man, I ain't do my boy like that. Come on now. I gotta give him some money, man. Because
I honestly think Embiid better than Giannis.
My boy Beasley got robbed. He got robbed officially. I can't call it. So we gotta give it to Money, man. Money was the first point. His first point. Oh my God.
That's
you say? All right. So preseason, like I said, it's preseason right now. Well, people play games so far. That's what we have going on right now. But we do want to kind of do an early prediction as far as what 2 teams will make it to the NBA Finals. So we're gonna do an early BBA Finals matchup. Whoever can sell it the best, man. We got some great teams out here. I mean, let's go through the teams. Before we do that, let's who's actually the best player? This is not a debate topic. As far as we know, 5, 6, 96 guys with 96 overall ratings, but who has the best team with the best player? As far as what team fits the best player?
What team fit?
Out of 96, the top 5 guys, I guess. Who has
I mean, in terms of team fit, you got 2 96s playing with each other. I think Cleveland is the only answer you could think of.
The only answer.
like I mean, shit. Evans is 96.
96.
And he don't have to create offense because he's playing with 96 Luka and like 92 overall
Garland.
Darius Garland. It's nuts.
Let's talk about the new guy Mobley. Let's talk about him because he came out of he was what a 93, 92 last year maybe.
Yeah, I think 92, yeah.
So like check him out right quick. I want to see like what badges he got now. Like this guy's we talking about top player in the league. Like what can he do? He does everything now, right?
Look at this.
Defensively is nuts.
Offensively, he's a monster because he's at the rim. He's just gonna dominate. He can post you up. He can do whatever he wants. I mean, it don't help to be 6'11" and have catch and shoot, regardless of his bronze or not. And then defensively, he has every badge you need to lock up. Like,
is he the new
nuts.
Giannis?
Oh, well, do he move like Giannis?
I wouldn't take it that far. I think that in terms of what he's doing, I mean, we again, it depends on the user. Like, if I have him and I have Luka and Garland on the team as well, he's KG because I need you to play defense, hit a couple middies, maybe post up, hit a couple back-to-backs because we know how Eric likes to use Garland. Garland's shooting like he's Steph Curry in terms of range, not in terms of efficiency, in terms of range. So we need to figure out a way how to get Luka involved and create his own shots too. And now Luka's creating for guys like Herbert and shit. So all Evans got to do for me is play defense and hit an occasional jump shot.
Fuck.
Now, if I see a matchup where I have a guy who just can't match up with Mobley, we may kill that because some people are, like my team, for instance, Isaiah Hartenstein is not matching up with Mobley. Like, that could be his night to get 20.
Right.
But other than that, them other guys can score all the points in the world, and I won't even notice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's a great point. I think the KG comparison is really good.
Yeah.
I think you honestly his best bet is probably the spot play Garland or Luka. One of them has to run your bench. One of them has to be the efficient playmaker. We do know that Eric does like to shoot with Garland like he's God or whatever. So I don't know. He's Garland sexual, but I just don't. Yeah, he's definitely not Giannis yet. The ball handler's not there yet, but he definitely can still. He has post playmaker and he has a decent pass. So I think Evan Mobley is the guy that does stay in regardless, even if you're looking at spotting where you play Luka, starting Luka with him, or you're starting Darius with him. I think you're still playing Evan because he's just that good in that defensive field of a beast.
Right.
That's tough.
Who else we got on top? You got one money? Anybody?
I mean, are we basing this off winning or just team?
No, we're just talking about I just asked about Mobley, like how you feel about his ascendance to 96. Like he's a top player in the league now. Like what you feel about him?
I can't
nuts.
even. I seen it coming. I can't even say that shit. I didn't even know that nigga was gonna be up there. But that is you got two scoring guards with a defensive big, offensive, does everything. Look at the stats. He do everything. So
I'll ask a question for you, since you were the defending Eastern Conference champ. When you see this team right here, like, what's your approach? Like, how you feel about? You sent one of your guys over there. I see.
Oh yeah, Herbert. That nigga, he gonna live his life. They might do something, but as I play, if I was to play this team, honestly, I attack Garland. No, I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even attack Garland. Most of my offense flows bigs. Mobley can't guard both my bigs. One of them gonna cook up. And so
Shit.
That's my
Sure.
He 96. He gotta figure out a way to guard both.
I didn't been against some good defensive bigs, but they can't guard both. I played drop. He got Bam. He can't guard Paulo and that nigga Xavier. Xavier gonna either cook up off the dribble. Paulo gonna get to the hole. He had Duren. Duren couldn't keep up with that nigga. He only has Mobley. Mobley got to guard one of the niggas.
I'll maybe go small on you. Throw Herb on him.
You can throw her. I'm gonna cook that nigga. But you right.
He's got 93 perimeter defense. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think you're gonna.
I throw Herb on Paulo. You take a lot of damn step backs with him. That kind of shuts that down for Mobley.
I know, but look at then if he throws Herb on him, who's gonna guard LeBron? That's how I play it. Like,
I mean, respectfully, until I see LeBron hit a jump shot, the thing is bringing him to the rim, right? I think the biggest way that you have to go after this Cleveland team is I'm playing Donnie at the one for me. Obviously, I'm a different team. Donnie's playing the one, Garland's guarding him, and we are going to pick and roll. I'm trying to get Garland either mixed up in the pick and roll where he got to stay on top of AD, or now Evan is standing in front of Donnie, and we are trying to get him in foul trouble. If I get that big off the thing, I want to see who the backup big is. We're going to see who's going to get there and try and stop us. I'm not worried about – I don't even know who the second big is on that team, to be honest with you. I don't know if he's playing Caleb as a stretch five. But if that's my next option, my idea is to get fucking Evan Mobley up out that game. And we're going to hit the rim and try and get him in foul trouble early. And then if Kevin Love comes in there, there's not a single big on my team that I'm worried about having to match up with Kevin Love.
Yeah. As I built my team, as my front court is 3 niggas that can either dribble, pass, or go to the hole, score from wherever they need to go. And that's how I built that team to have that mismatch advantage. And I play my backcourt as defensive guards that can shoot the 3. So, I'm just looking for the mismatch in the 3 bigs first. And I can get that because he can't guard everybody with all his defensive players.
Right. Okay. Well, I appreciate y'all take on Mobley because, like I said, I haven't played Mobley. I played him one time with the cycle. I don't watch a lot of Cleveland games. I mean, I've seen the guy play basketball before, but I do want to see. I do want to see this 96 Mobley. So I want to see he's 96 now. He's amongst the best. With Luka. I mean, I want to see this team. This team is stacked. I mean, come on. You got the best defender, Herbert, perimeter defender in the league. I think I'm gonna go on a limb and say he's the best now. He went to my boot camp. I built a bird his ass. I made sure Herb was the best.
You're welcome. I still shipped it to you.
Yeah. Beasley gave him. I said, let me work with this guy. Then he won a championship, and we sent him money. He made a finals.
Respectfully, Matisse is still the best perimeter defender in the league, but he's
Marcus.
He ain't.
Matisse got like.
I'm taking Matisse.
No way. We're not going to debate Herb Matisse. That's pointless.
In terms of perimeter D.
I mean,
Herb right there though. He's right there.
He up there. Respect to the young bull, but
he's number 4, tied for 3.
I feel like,
look at Matisse still.
He's been more effective on his team than Matisse has. I feel like.
Look at the badges, my boy.
Raiders aside, I feel like Herb has been there every year. He's been on top team performing. Matisse hasn't been around as far as like competing on the highest level in this cycle.
He plays.
Well, yeah, now
man, you can't fault a man for where he gets stuck at.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. You got to spotlight who's actually doing something this time.
Let's talk about it right now. That team has three players, 90 overall.
Damn,
they won't make it past the second round.
What team? We're talking about Cavaliers.
They're not gonna make it past the second round if they make it out the first.
You think so?
They should make it to the finals.
That's a tough take. That's a tough take on
it. I mean, it's not a tough take. I think he still loses to Orlando. He still loses to Detroit. He still loses to Chicago. Shit, I think I could beat him. I think I could beat that team the way it's set up.
Nigga said, "Shit, I think I could get him."
That was a perfect intro to the next topic. So we're gonna get right back to the debates because Mobley, shout out to Mobley, shout out to Cavaliers, hell of a roster. But we do want to know what BBA team will make the finals. What matchup would it be? This is the next debate question. This could be an open discussion. This is our last topic for BBA for this podcast. But we have one more topic after that, but this will be the last BBA topic of the day. So let's do an open discussion as far as early BBA finals. So I do want to start with the same formula we've been doing, one person at a time, but we're going to discuss this. Well, this is a big topic. We want to know who's the best finals matchup.
Let's get it out the way. I'm picking my matchup. I'm stamping it. They're going to play in the finals, so y'all could name whoever else y'all want. It's not going to be it. It's going to be Timberwolves Orlando. Both teams that the Rockets beat are going to be playing in the finals this year. And it's going to come down to whether or not those bigs that Moni loves so much that can move around and shit can deal with the problems that Kristaps and Rudy can create. I mean, right now you got Julius playing the center for Orlando. I don't think Julius playing the center if Rudy big ass is playing the center too. I think that that's going to be the biggest problem for them. I don't see a team in the East that is going to give Orlando enough problems. And like I said, it comes down to the Rockets and the Timberwolves for the West for me. And I just don't think that you're going to see that Timberwolves team falter again.
Shit. I mean, I agree with the Magic point. I don't know about the Timberwolves point. Like I said, believe it or not, the West is really about matchups. You know, all due respect to Rob, but you know, I think what he's doing, as far as, for one, he has bread and butter with the Porzingis and Gobert thing. He knows exactly what he's doing with that lineup to kind of get. He's been working the McDaniels at the 4 to kind of give him that more perimeter defense, give him a little bit more switchable as far as a team. But I don't see it. I don't know if he makes it again. It really depends on who really it is. And I think it's the same with Ernie. If Ernie gets in a bad shooting slump, it's kind of tough for his team to go. So I think the West is kind of up for grabs. I think it could be easily somebody, you know, I don't feel like it could easily be somebody like me. It could easily be somebody like Pedro could make a big run. It just kind of depends. Like, we got so many factors in the West that it makes a difference. Versus, I do agree with the fact that the Magic still making it back, because I think one year did have one of the better off seasons. I think your all season was better than probably Detroit's, even though they picked up BI. I could still see some kind of issues with some of the fit and scheme or whatever, because you still have Trey, and that's kind of, Trey is tough to get to the finals with, for the fact of he's a defensive liability. So I think the East is a little bit easier. Like I said, the team that could probably, like, looking at it team wise, the team that should knock them off would be the Cavaliers, but they're not going to make it out the first round. Realistically, shouldn't even make it to the play-in. So I don't know. It's kind of tough to say.
Money. What you got? Champ. Keep you coming, Champ. What you got, man?
I mean, shit, like, you know, I think Raw can make it again, because Raw, he's been playing around with like different lineups and shit. He's been running Gobert off the bench, KP at the center, like BG said, he's running McDowell's at the 4 for more perimeter defense switching. He's running Anthony Edwards as the playmaker, but he's still scoring with Anthony Edwards. So Anthony's getting like over 5 assists and still dropping 25. So I think the way he's experimenting might be a little better for him, because everybody's used to like what he usually runs. Like Ant might come off the screen, zoom off to the paint or some shit. Or, you know, KP gonna post up. He did me dirty with KP the other day, but I happened to win on the 3. But I think he's just very tough. And he just keeps getting better. I don't know. It's between him and Ernie for me. I think him and Ernie just keep, their teams didn't lose anything, and they just keep improving.
It's tough, man. It really is tough. I do want to refute something about the West. As much as people want to talk about how tough the West is, the reality of the situation is D-Lee was a team that we saw compete in the West last year. I think his team got worse, personally. I think that he gave up a lot of his defensive game planning in terms of Robert Williams and Marcus Smart to get another offensive player in Sabonis. He was a team that we saw in the second round of the playoffs. Pedro, we saw in the second round of the playoffs. Yes, you replaced Tatum. You replaced LeBron with Tatum. Again, I still don't think that team is that much better because of that replacement. And I still think the Rockets get them out of here in terms of a matchup. And both those matchups for the Timberwolves were sweeps. Now, Beasley lost to Pedro in the first round of the playoffs. With that, so if you're saying that team in New Orleans got better, now if you think that the Jazz got that much better and he already gave you enough problems, that's tough. I think in terms of watching Raw play, the biggest issue is not Ant. Ant is going to score. I think Ant in the playoffs, it really can average 25 to 30. KP is now becoming more of an offensive weapon for Ra. And I think that's the biggest issue, is that the more confident he gets in terms of scoring points with KP, the more we have to worry about him, because now all these other guys have to worry. He's saying, look at the stats. I don't have to look at the stats, because I know, like I'm saying, that he is becoming more of an offensive issue for what this man wants to do. And the more comfortable he gets in that offense now, because Drew is a liability in terms of starting offensively. Bouknight, once he gets comfortable over there, is going to be playing to Anthony Edwards essentially. We saw Frank Ntilikina hitting step back jump shots last year. What happens when Bouknight is hitting those same shots and then able to aggressively dunk at the rim and can still play defense? Now, if we want to shift minutes, Bouknight and Drew are playing together off the bench now, and then KP's still in with them because Rudy is the one who's going to stay in with the starters. It's just the way he can move matchups. McDaniels is learning that. Asamoah, as he gets more comfortable, I think is going to be a bigger issue for teams because he's another guy who's going to be able to shoot the ball and do whatever he needs to do. It's just that team, to me, did get better. It's not the best in terms of improvements because they were already such a strong team that he wasn't able to bring in a huge free agent signing the way Orlando did. But Orlando is going to do their job, like we already said. I don't think Orlando loses the East. I think that the Pistons and them are still going to be that tough matchup that everybody's going to want to see. But Trae Young didn't give you an answer to Paolo. Trae Young doesn't give you an answer to LeBron. And he's already moving Brandon Ingram from what we've seen in terms of conversations in the chat and trade proposals. BI is on the move out of there. So his big move that he made was something that he's already regretting because he's trying to figure a way out of it. So the big question for us is the West.
So you had so you're saying Magic versus Wolves loaded?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Who you have, Beezy?
I really don't know. Shoot, that's kind of my thing. The West is kind of up there, but it's definitely
It's
Magic.
a wild card in the West for Beasley.
He said Pelicans.
Shit.
Yeah.
He said even I can
He
make
got
it
a
there.
chance.
That nigga know what he wanted to say. He
In the
said
East.
even I can make it there. So he said Pelicans going to the finals. Nigga.
What you got for the East?
Magic, easily.
I'm just putting it in the chat because I make sure I remember these matchups because we're gonna discuss it in a second. Money, you up next, right?
Well, he answered. He said Magic, and then he said Wolves or Rockets. You just didn't pick one.
Yeah, pick one, Money. You playing? Early prediction. You gotta give me a team.
But Prime said he making it.
You know what? I took this nigga Raw last time. Yeah, I'm gonna take the nigga because he. I think the game plan he running right now is gonna just get better.
He's experimenting. I like what he's doing.
Yeah, it's very. I think the game plan is very I won, but it was a lucky win, honestly. The nigga dropped, I got the corner three, but he was cooking me with KP. He didn't worry about anything else. The nigga was just worried about scoring, and that's what that nigga did.
So you don't know them tendencies with him. It's tough.
I'm gonna throw something in there then because I have a different prediction. I'm not on the scoreboard, but I can steal a point, right?
No, because you give him out. Damn.
Hell no, we're gonna do a tiebreaker anyway. Not bullshitting, but I really think I like the Wolves. I mean, like you said, like Money said, right? He can experiment right now. I played him twice, lost both times. Second game was better, but you could tell it's like he got KP running 5. He's running small ball now, a smaller lineup, which is working. I mean, he's working on it, so it's like it's not all the way there yet, but you can see where he's going. Yeah, it's a progress. It's early. The season just started. But you can tell, okay, maybe he's going to try to move Rudy. Who knows? But it's working with KP. So it's like he runs KP the whole quarter, then he runs Rudy the whole quarter. Experiment. I get it. But it's going to be hard to beat whatever he does. So I do got the Wolves, but I have a different answer for the East. I'm going with Detroit. I'm going with Drop. Maybe it's User. Maybe I feel like more. It's not his team is talented. Let's go to Detroit right fast. I'm not heard of BI. He haven't traded BI yet. I mean,
he's literally in the trade right now. He's moving. He's gone. He's out of there.
He's gone. Oh, so who we got?
Wait, no, I don't think he got. Did he get approved?
Who's coming in?
Well, that terrible one. He got damn.
He's trying to take. I mean, this is my thing, right? When you're talking about the Pistons, if Brandon Ingram is so good, how is Keegan Murray and Devin Vassell to what we want to get back for him? I can understand wanting to add depth to your team, but in my opinion, that team don't get better because of those two. I think that you get another player, but now you just have to spread your minutes more thin. I think if BI is the best case for what your starting lineup could be for that team.
I say this. I mean, you good. I mean, you got it. I'm gonna say something after you know.
Nah, I was just gonna say we know Bam is playing the 4, so Bradshaw's gonna play the 5. Steven Adams may rotate in there if you say, hey, we want to make sure that Bradshaw gets on the bench, even though I think Bam might make more sense for that. But Drop is a great user.
Yeah.
He said he lost Trey Young's shot today and he's trying to get it back. I don't like his usage of a guy like Steph or Trey Young more than I would like his usage of a guy like BI, who I just think is easier to create shots because he's not a small player. And when you have to figure out a way to also make up for that huge defensive liability, we could look at the Magic's roster. There is not a defensive liability that's going to be on their court. And that's going to be important in a finals matchup because, I mean, BZ keeps saying it for the East. I mean, for the West, you got to go on runs. And that's not a thing in the playoffs. It's not runs. You got to be consistently win 3. And you could go on a run on the regular season. But if I see Trey Young and my game plan is, hey, I'm going to put this guy on him because I don't have to worry about another player in your starting lineup. LeBron could guard Trey Young if you really want to go crazy. Keontae could guard Trey Young because I'm not going to worry about Vassell beating me off the dribble. He's a spot-up shooter. So now I can take the focus on. Meanwhile, B.I. can create his own shot. Keegan's shot is not the best in this game right now. So he's not another guy. I'm not worried about his creating his own shot. So now I'm taking one of my better defenders in LeBron, letting him chase this little motherfucker all over the court, and we gonna make sure that he can't do anything off the dribble to me. And now you've lost basically your best creator because Bam is having to guard Paolo on one side and then stick with him on the other. Julius, Xavier, whoever you want to put in that starting lineup. Bradshaw new to the jump. He got to learn how to do this.
Trey trash.
He got to learn how to get used to this.
Well, I will say this: Drop. If you're watching, man, I'm gonna tell you right now. Hey, tell your admins to downvote that trade. You should keep Bi. I mean, keep star power. I mean, you getting Vassell. He's a great defender. Keegan, not too big of a fan of him. Maybe if you got OG, we talking. You talking about Vassell and OG? We talking about something totally different. But it's Drop. I mean, he can make shit happen. I mean, you got Ivy, so he can create. So you don't need if Trey gets canceled out. I think Ivy still can create for him. But I do like Detroit. I don't like the trade if he goes through, but I do like if B.I. stays, I think he can win. Back to the Pelicans though. I do like the Pelicans roster since Beasley got himself and the Magic to put some respect on the Pelicans. Let's go your roster,
I was just looking at the Pelicans. Pelicans are a very nice roster. Dyson Daniels. What does Daniels play, the 2?
He plays the 2. He really kind of running the 1, but running the 2.
He's a playmaker too. That shit's crazy.
All right, B. So explain. I mean, of course, I get it. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna say I'm gonna lose. It's just, I mean, I can say that right now because my team. Hey, it is what it is. But I will say your team, for sure, look like a Western Conference Finals team, and I feel like you know how that shit go. Hey, it's 1-on-1. Somebody got to win. You got a chance to win. So explain your team for us. Why you think you can win?
I mean, for one, I'm scoring with Zion on all 3 levels of the floor.
Right.
I'm hitting people with the step backs. I'm hitting people with the jumpers. Like I'm scoring. I'm not giving you more than anything. Like I said, then it's times where you know I'm turboing to the rim and dunking on them. You don't know how I'm doing it. So I got a kind of all Jackson trades card there. Then you looking at it, it's like, okay, like losing B.I. hurt, but at the same time, now I kind of open up that level where I decline Trey Murphy's value because he really was just a good stretch 4. And I got Terry Rozier. Everyone knows, you know what I'm saying, I'm a great Hornets user and I love Terry or whatever. But getting Terry in a sense, now it kind of gives me the ability to where I can run Terry off screens, whatever, let Dyson be the playmaker he is and kind of just dump it to who it is or whatever. I see Prime talking about JJJ want to see Zion. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, honestly. Zion is fucked up Giannis. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to tell you, it does not matter to nobody. Like I don't run for it. Being honest with Baloo, I'm able to spread shots with him. I kind of got mismatches with him. I can kind of run. If you using a slow center, I can kind of use him, and I can kind of high post and isolate with him. The rookies I got, their ratings might not be there all the way, but they're straight. I like VJ Miller. I like Trey Flowers. They kind of can do a little bit of everything, can kind of score, and then I like that bench, and I can use D'Lo. Since using him as just as a bench point guard, I'm able to create more with him. So I think I'm kind of I got a little something cooking up. And Mac Mbako has played some big ass minutes for me. He was playing big minutes for me last year. He's playing some big ass minutes. He was a big reason why I beat Drop. Big reason why I beat Rod the other day. So I can match up with people pretty well.
Bet. For sure. All right. So we got Pels versus, you said Pels versus the Wolves. Not Wolves, Magic. That was your prediction.
Yeah.
I guess the consensus might be, from what I've heard, it's Magic versus Wolves. I mean, just off like I said, anything can happen in playoffs. Pelicans can win. I mean, I'm with B as far as that. Like, I mean, if it goes through your team, but I will say matchups do matter. We all know that. I think Rod still has the dominant matchup, even against the Pelicans, as far as just.
Get that.
So, I think the Wolves might be the favorite out west. But like I said, anybody can win. You know, motherfucker might get sick that week. I mean, why tell people play the playoffs game, because you never know. Your opponent might. Like you said, something might come up. He got out of town. He can't play. You know, shit happens all the time. But if you stick to what you came to do to win, who knows? You know, you might have the matchup you wanted. Maybe Rod don't make it. You know, like first year, I probably wouldn't beat the Timberwolves team. Luckily, Lou beat Timberwolves. I got lucky, got Dallas. I went to the finals and won. It could be Phoenix, then the finals. But maybe if I played Rod, I probably would have won. So. I'm with your strategy, Bees. You know what I'm saying? Stick to what you're doing. It can work out. But for right now, finals prediction, early final prediction, I would say Wolves and Magic. What's looking like?
I get that. I got to prove people wrong, so it's all good.
You got to prove everybody wrong, Bees. So Loaded and Money both had the same matchup. Who know football? Because I want to hear a good debate.
Bro, you know. Listen, man, don't even.
You got a bias in the stance, but
BZ and Loaded on this one.
It's looking like you versus Loaded, because you about to win this point, because you are the Magic.
What?
He's the Magic. He's the team that we're talking about.
Hey, man, the Magic was a consensus. The debate was the Wolves or the Pelicans. Hey, man.
And I know exactly what the Wolves doing, nigga. I broke it down.
Wow.
So if we're picking a winner at the end of that, then that's different.
The winner, we're voting on early BBA finals matchup. Which one was the best matchup that could happen? The highest chance.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, if I'm picking a winner,
it's
Wolves would have been too.
Okay, so let's get to the winner then. How about the tiebreaker is? All right, it's you and Money for the tiebreaker on this point. If Loaded wins, the show is pretty much over. But we do have one more topic. We just keep that topic as a friendly topic. But if Money wins, I need a one-on-one debate. Football, man.
All right, like I said, I'm picking the winner. I'm gonna let Money get his own team. I'm gonna let him pick his team, the Magic. I'm going with the Timberwolves. At the end of the day, Ra has been super competitive every season, and he has kept the formula together for the most part. Obviously, Cat is gone, KP is there, but that formula that is there is we are scoring point Grizz versus Bugs. I don't know what he's talking about, but I think that in terms of, like I said, in terms of playing defensive league, I said this on the last episode that we did together. I think Ra is the best on-the-ball defender in BBA. So it comes down to offense, and I think that in terms of being disciplined on offense and doing what makes sense, Ra does more than that with the Timberwolves than Moni does with the Magic. We know what Moni wants to do. He wants to get to his spots, take these fancy step-back jump shots with every player on his roster. And when you have to be disciplined, you're playing 3 games for the title. 3 clean games for the title. Ra plays clean. He played clean against Ernie. Ernie just hit some amazing shots. I mean, if you go back to game 2, I think it was. No, it was game 3. He hit a step-back jump shot in the corner with Jabari that I don't even think Jabari would take in real life. You can find the most irresponsible shooter in NBA history. J.R. Smith not pulling that shot because it's just crazy. And it was a green. It's just the degree of difficulty that he makes you taking shots, you have to be perfect. And I think it's hard to be perfect against him.
You got that message, money? I think
Yeah, let me see.
Well, don't mute now because you got to talk. You got to
What the
speak.
fuck is that? I don't know what that nigga talking about. Anyways, nigga,
All right,
you see, you
Timberwolves
feel,
Magic. What you got, money? How
you feel
gonna
me?
beat Rod?
Niggas said the same thing with Drop too, right? Now, I did injure that. I did injure that nigga best player. That did happen. But Drop is still a great user. He's way more patient than me, and he don't take no dumb shots that gonna fuck up his whole game. But I swept that nigga. I did sweep that nigga, and they are very similar. When I think of two people, I think of Raw and Drop. They like very similar to me.
But let's be
And
clear. I picked him to beat Drop last year. We was clear
you
on
did,
that.
no, you did.
I picked him to quit beat Drop. So we understand what you do. I understand what he does. What I'm saying is, I didn't think Drop had the weaponry to keep up with what you had over there. Now injuring Jaden Ivey hurts that too. In terms of what's gonna happen when you play the Timberwolves, you unless you plan on hurting Rudy Gobert and KP at the same time, that big man shit is not gonna be popping off the same way it
My
would
nigga,
be.
As long as this was the problem when I play Raw. Raw can kill me because like my defense, I don't stay still like a lot of the time. But if I can just stay on him and stay with KP the whole time, I don't give a fuck what Ant doing. If I can keep on KP, that's pretty much it for the game, nigga. Because otherwise I'm still gonna outscore him with my bigs. He's gonna clamp me. He does very great defense, but I'm not gonna when I play Raw. I'm not trying to ISO that nigga. Like I'm gonna run more plays to keep away from him, to keep him having to move around. And other than that, I think I'll beat that nigga just because I'm not gonna allow him to play the game that he's gonna be the best at.
Hey man, it's tough.
It's tough. I mean, never
tough.
doubt yourself.
I
got
think
it.
that confidence is super important to have, and I respect that.
Right.
But in terms of two teams playing and saying that one is going to play good defense because you confident you're going to play defense and you think you're going to be able to score on his defense, I think that's delusion. And you need to make sure that you have a clear difference there because at the end of the day, Ra going to come in and think he's going to score too. In terms of game plan, in terms of play calling, I think he's going to have you outmatched because at the end of the day, what you do best is those ISO plays. Now, if you're saying that you got to get away from what you did, like when we said Ernie got to beat Ra, he got to figure out how to just make his shots. He continued to do what we know Ernie has, a step back shooter, someone who's going to create in that mid-range game, and he did it to perfection. You already talking about you going to take away from what you do. I ain't going to be that same shooter when it's time to play Ra. I have no confidence now. Instead of saying Ra gonna win, Ra sweep. Ra sweep. If the nigga ready to get rid of his game plan already before they even get the guts of the matchup, Ra in the sweep.
I'm
Taking
a versatile nigga. You feel me? Regardless, nigga. We gonna adapt. We gonna learn, and we gonna play, nigga.
Right. Anybody can win, but I will say Timberwolves going into this. Timberwolves should be with the champions by the end of the season. So we're gonna give it to Loaded, man. Loaded. 3 points. You are officially the winner. They can't catch up.
Yeah, listen, man, I'm
They
humbled.
can't catch up. You can't. Hold on,
Humbled,
fast. Hold on, let me edit the scoreboard for you, man. Make it look good on the scoreboard. Make it official, man. There we go. It's official now. Loaded 3-1. 3 points, money 1, BZ 1. But we do have a bonus topic, so congratulations to Loaded for winning today's show. You know what I'm saying? We also got a segment for Loaded at the end called Talk Your Shit. But first, we're gonna do our bonus topic. It's open discussion. We got Super Bowl coming up. We got the Eagles versus the Chiefs. Football, guys. This show, I want to also say this show right here, we're gonna talk BBA. But for the most part, we want to expand. We want to go to real life sports like NBA, NFL. We want to talk about everything, music, whatever. We want to get new listeners. We want to get guys who don't follow BBA. So we want to bring them into our world. Hopefully they might want to join, So it's all about the sim community at the end of the day, about expanding. So I think adding real life topics helps that out, debating those topics. So let's get to it, man. Super Bowl predictions. We got the Chiefs versus the Eagles.
Hey, Beezy, stop being toxic, man. Talk this football shit.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Yeah, sorry. I had to just man, I'm looking at the game. Honestly, it's kind of tough to say. Like the Chiefs, of course you got Mahomes or whatever, but if I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna have to give it to the Eagles. I think that defensive line, I think they're playing fucking great. I know that the Chiefs are pretty banged up. They've got, you got Mahomes with his ankle kind of hurting. You got Kelsey with his back kind of hurting. He put the jacket on. So
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you.
I'm going with y'all because I just think that the defense, I think that's going to play the biggest part. I know Mahomes is kind of a wizard, but seeing him with that ankle hurt, I don't think he's able to be as mobile as he can. And then the run game that the Eagles do is just so fucking great. Like, the fact that they just pounded the fucking 49ers, which is one of the best run defense, and I mean, they pounded their ass. Mm-hmm. I just don't see that Chiefs defense holding up at all. So I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles. It's probably gonna be unless Patrick Mahomes goes crazy and makes it a scoring contest. That's when it kind of gets an issue. But I think the Eagles got it though.
Mm.
Yeah.
When you got something you say about that? I mean, I'm pretty sure Lloyd won't go last.
Oh, wait. No, these niggas arguing with Future in the chat.
I say this right here.
No, we said to stop being toxic. We on this right now.
Let me say this right here. I feel like loaded Eagles. I'm a 49er fan, so the shit was. I went to the bar the other day, man. Had my shit on. We was ready. I was like, we're gonna beat
ridiculous.
Yeah, we was ready. I thought we was ready, man, but I didn't watch a lot of Eagles this year until I saw them. These motherfuckers are good. They're good.
Fucking crazy, bro.
They're good. They're really good. I was impressed, but I never. Because think about who we lost to last time. Mahomes. It's always Mahomes. Mahomes not going to lose. He's the next GOAT Forrest. People saying everybody knew Mahomes was the best quarterback, after the whole Tom Brady shit. Mahomes next up. They come with the Joe Burrow cat. Everybody, he's good. Josh Allen, very good players. They try to make Mahomes. They try to put Mahomes on the same level as those guys. But every AFC championship is the Eagles, not the Eagles. It's the Chiefs. For the last 5 seasons, people try to down Mahomes like he's not gonna get the job done. But every year he's there. So I can't bet against Pat Mahomes. Or can I? I won't bet against Pat Mahomes.
Let me tell y'all something real quick. All right. Tell you some facts.
Facts.
Right?
Eagles.
Pat Mahomes is great. Shout out to Andy Reid and what he's doing over there. We gave him the start as a head coach over here in Philadelphia. So, we always got love for Andy Reid. That's wonderful. What this Eagles team is right here is a team that if we win the Super Bowl is going to go down as one of the best teams to ever play in NFL history. And one of the things that people really underplay is that we've heard all year in terms of Philadelphia. We heard it going into the game against the 49ers last week is we haven't beat nobody. But the reality is people who say that are casual fans. The Eagles are 9-1 against teams with winning records. And we played 10 games against teams with winning records. We win games. We have 70 sacks on the year. The biggest margin in NFL history between the first team in terms of team sacks and the second, because we have 15 more sacks than the next team. 4 guys on our teams, and Brandon Graham, Javon Hargraves, Montez, and fucking not Montez, Josh Sweat, and Hassan Riddick, all with double-digit sacks, 11 or more. Yeah. We get after the ball. The number 1 pass defense in the league because of what Bradbury, Slay, and Chauncey do. Reed Blankenship, the rookie, undrafted free agent, is doing a great job in that safety position too, which gives us more options. That defense is solidified. Offensively, in the playoffs, we haven't had to do as much. Jalen has less than 150 yards in both playoff games in terms of passing the ball because we run it so damn well. He's had 50 yards rushing in both games. Miles Sanders, 2 touchdowns in the last one. Kenneth Gainwell goes off against the Giants. We have ways to beat every team, and I think the Chiefs are going to have to figure out a way to stop us too because Patty can be special. But when you cannot throw the ball to those guys because Slay and Bradbury got them in fucking prison, now Kelsey's going to be the main option of who you throw the ball to. and that's gonna be the toughest thing for us. We got to figure out a way to cover Travis. But if we could do that successfully, and Patty's got to roam around, we see the mistakes he makes. The reason they didn't play in the Super Bowl last year is because when he had that ball late and he had to make a decision when guys are getting locked up, he made the wrong one. It went back 20 yards and then fumbled it. You're asking him to make you're asking Patty to play a perfect game. And this is my thing, as always, is if your idea of winning is asking somebody to play perfect, then you already lost. Because at the end of the day, Jalen only turned the ball over 4 times this year. So Patty could do that more in one game if he has to get crazy and throw the ball all around. Because you know what Jalen going to do. He's going to run. He's going to get the ball out of there. He's going to make the right plays. And we right now have the better weapons. A.J. Brown, like I said before, Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, the GOAT, Boston Scott, Smitty, Dallas Goedert. It's too much things going on in Philadelphia right now. Obviously, they're there. Anybody can win their game. If we don't win, I'd be surprised. I predicted us to beat the Giants by double digits. Made $300 that day off of the good people. I made $300 off the 49ers because I made bets with the good people. And I'm giving spreads. Let's be clear. I had double digits in both. I'm giving spreads. Eagles played 2 playoff games. We scored 30 points, left both teams under 7. So the good people in Kansas City going to give us a better matchup. I think we win that game by 7.
I respect it. You called you, man. That's what's you got, Beast.
I was gonna say, I think another X factor I think is gonna be I think what McKinnon or Pacheco do. I think if he can hit them on checkdowns too, I think that's gonna make a difference as well. It kind of opens things up a little bit, but I agree. I think the Eagles definitely got, as far as just as a fit, a team, and health right now, and that's a big part of it. People don't think of like what team is the healthiest. I think the Eagles definitely got it. What they have Jalen do is very simple. He doesn't have to do too much. It's basically, hey, don't turn the ball over. Make the right reads on the run. The 49ers game, I honestly thought it was gonna be closer. Honestly, it is closer if the freaking your Shanahan doesn't have a brain fart and try to block Hassan Reddick, who has been, and I know this for a fact because he was in Carolina last year and was one of the top sack leaders. It's kind of funny. Y'all really did pick off some of the best people from Carolina. Bradbury was originally Carolina Panther, went to the Giants, did his thing, whatever. So I just think if you don't try to block the top pass rusher with a tight end, and the thing is, it can't be a 5-step drop. It can't be okay, let me see what I got up. It's got to be 3 steps and let it go. I don't care if it's an incompletion or what. I just thought that was idiotic, and he did it again, and that's what got Josh Johnson killed. And a lot of people give me shit for it, but like I was trying to say, Josh Johnson, when he actually got a chance to throw the ball, it wasn't that bad. Now, am I saying I want to take Josh Johnson in general? Hell no. Take Josh Johnson for a seat? Hell no.
Nigga, no.
You could kind of see when he got his chance to throw the ball, he made some completions. The only thing, and I do agree with the Kittle thing because the Kelsey thing. Because the person that he did complete the passes to was Kittle last week. So it's kind of tough to say.
Yeah, it's tough.
Nigga, 3 QBs in
but the biggest thing is that people like to forget is that we're daring you to go across the middle. So those dropbacks that they have to take, the quick shit is not there. Because with the way that Chelsea's playing, he's basically playing like almost a money backer in a sense, because we're letting him jump anything. We're letting him watch the quarterback's eyes and get after it. I mean, you can take the credit for Bradbury and Hassan if you want. 11 sacks in Carolina is not the same as 16 in Philly, baby. But at the end of the day, they have to figure out if you could double. Let's say you put that tight end is not blocking Hassan. If you're letting your tackle take on Hassan, you have to double block Fletch. You have to double block Hargrave. And then if not, Sweat comes off the side, and the way he's coming off right now, in terms of Pro Football Focus, I know some people don't like to use it. He's got the second fastest takeoff in terms of the league playing end. We're going to figure out a way to get after you.
Oh, no, y'all's twists are great.
It's crazy. That defensive front is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Kaiser White, and since you mentioned him deranged, I'll tell you right now, if there's one player I hate in our defense right now, it's Kaiser White. He came off strong week 1. He got the interception. I was like, I love this guy. and then he started getting blown up in coverages. The running backs become the big issue for us. Christian got that ridiculous touchdown that he got. He broke the 2 tackles, and one of those tackles he broke was Kaiser White. The big matchup, like I said before, Kelsey, TJ Edwards. TJ Edwards has been great for us this year, and obviously we didn't get to see enough of what Kittle could do to us because Purdy went down, but that's on Purdy. When you play the Eagles, shit ain't gonna be Purdy, and that's just what we was telling them all week long. And now my homeboy, he got to figure it out. At the end of the day, is whether or not the ankle hold up, because we're gonna go after him early. We're gonna test it out. Andy Reid is a really creative play caller in terms of that offensive scheme. Shout out to Eric Bieniemy, but Jonathan Gannon has done a special things with this defense this year, and he's got to do it one more time. 2 rings, 6 years. That's what we need. That's all we need.
I got 2 things I'm gonna say because it's funny because when you said the ankle, shit just started making sense. What Arian Foster say? He was talking about this shit script. Script,
Shout out to Arian Foster, crazy. First off,
find out.
But if you watch that podcast, because what they do over there on that podcast is dope. Right after that, the nigga in the back said to him, "So there was a script where you went vegan and fell off."
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that shit. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah,
he was just like,
but
I
don't believe in scripts, but I believe in greatness. And this is part of my whole story. I mean, Eagles win. They're the best team. I think that's just how it go, right? That's how it go. But sometimes you talking about some of the greatest, like the greats. It's always something like it's the edge they have. I feel like this is another challenge for Mahomes. Like last week, same thing with Cincinnati. He can't beat Joe Burrow. Bad ankle. Get him out of here. Joe Burrow's not a winner. He's not a champion. Eagles, I feel like I have a championship team. But Mahomes is the champion, I think.
That's the thing that like a lot of people like, when they were talking about that Bengals team though, I feel like a lot of people were missing on the idea that they don't like they were talking about Burrowhead. They won once in Arrowhead. They won the other games in Cincy.
Yeah.
When you get in there in a playoff atmosphere and you have to go to Arrowhead, you got to beat that guy in front of his crowd. And at the end of the day, to be completely honest, it wasn't a great game. And they won because of sloppy defensive work by the Bengals at the end of the game. If you got to sit here and say championship medal, Kelsey got it. Patty got it. You know who else has it? Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Lane Johnson. We got people who've been here for our championship run, and they're here right now, and they're telling us how to do it. Travis Kelce got championship medal. So does his brother Jason, who happens to be a part of the best offensive line in football by a mile.
Right.
And Landon coming in, championship medal. Guys who got championship medal. Let's talk about the Bama boys too. Smitty, national championship. Josh Joby, don't play a lot, but he be in the slot. National champion. Jalen Hurts, national champion. Like we got those people who understand what it's like to win. And we're talking about creating a legacy. The guy that they're not talking about who's creating a legacy for on his own right now and is gonna, and I hope he gets to continue to do that, is Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is what he does. He's not just a football player. He's a leader of men, and he's been that everywhere he's been. And it is the way you grow up, you foster that. Patty's special because his dad is a professional athlete. Jalen is special because his father's a football coach. He's always been taught how to carry himself. Never has he gotten too high about a victory. Every time they ask him about him, we're not done yet. I'm starving. I want to win the biggest game possible. This winning stuff doesn't get me excited enough. So he's responsible for everything. In terms of the Chiefs' probability to upset us, like I said, you have a special play caller. You have the best quarterback in football. For me, because I'm a biased fan right now, I think it's 75-25. I think that if the Eagles do their game plan and they play to who's on the field, we should win this game for sure. If you want to go off of the idea of, do you bet against the best quarterback in football? No, maybe we should be the underdogs. And if you go to most of these betting apps and you go to Vegas, we are the underdogs. But that's what we love too, because the last time we were underdogs in the Super Bowl, we took down the GOAT. So why should I feel any other way with a better roster? We beat the GOAT and the best corner we had on the outside was Ronald Darby. Go tell me where Ronald Darby's at right now, because he's a fucking bum. But when he came with us, we made it work. We made it work with Darby, Jalen Mills. Shout out to the Green Goblin because he did his thing. And Malcolm Jenkins. We made it work with lesser people in that secondary against a fire quarterback. I'm taking my guys all the way. Eagles Super Bowl. Catch me out in Philly. Catch me on Broad Street at the parade. Because they say they be looking for me. I'm not hiding. I'm going to be there.
Hey, little man.
You gonna beat? What's up, little man? What's up?
Shit.
Yo, next time I play Money, unplug his controller. All right? Help me out.
Oh. You need help with money? You need
I
help
gotta
with
get out
money?
of here though, y'all, man. It's been fun doing this. I got like last two little points. I will say, you know, as a coach, I will say as an actual football coach, man, the tape that the Eagles have put up, man, this year is like perfect teach tape on both lines of the trenches. Like the twist game is crazy. The way they, you know, they're able to use their stunt game is nuts. The double team stuff has been something I've always studied for whoever. And the last point I want to make for sure is at the end of the day, HBCUs are winning regardless. The Chiefs, you know, we got Joshua Williams who played at Fayetteville State.
Hold on. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, B. I thought you were about to say something about HBCUs, which is cool, but you didn't win.
I had to give you it to the whole of the time. But I just saying we got regardless, we got whoever wins, you're gonna have at least 2 HBCU grads and players winning the national champion, winning the Super Bowl. So I can't be mad. Javon Hargraves from South Carolina State.
Okay.
Mac McCain from A&T. Let's see, Joshua Williams from Fayetteville State as in the CIAA who I played against. And boy, they got the tip for the interception. Brian Cook went to Howard. So
yeah.
Hey, we winning on that level. But I gotta get out of here.
We appreciate you, Bees.
Hi.
No problem.
All right, so that was a good take, man. Loaded. See, B tried to steal your talking shit segment. he tried to do the talking shit and get it back.
He tried, but I'm about to.
So
I got you.
So we appreciate you, Money, for competing today. Loaded won 3-1 against Bees and Money. So the winner. This is not round the horn. This is the last take. Okay, this is the last take. So we're gonna let Loaded talk his shit because he won. So that's how it's gonna go. So Money, we're gonna holler at you, man. I'm about to remove you from the video.
All right, man.
It's on you, Loaded.
So first off, I just want to say, off rip, I said from the jump. First, make me the full. Yeah, there we go, the full screen. I said from the jump I was gonna win. I already said. I thank y'all for participating. I'm gonna win this thing. So I got a couple things we're gonna say real quick. First off, put the respects on the Bucks. I'm about to win a lot of games. I'm going to the playoffs again. They said I wouldn't be able to play with layup timing. They said, the bitching about the meter. I said I didn't like the changes. I'm still gonna win games. Made the playoffs last year. You'll catch me there again. 2. I said the things I said about the content, and I've been here back-to-back episodes improving the content. Talk about the things that I said I would talk about. Analytics, the teams, how the people play, actually giving shit to it. Future right now going off on Beezy because Beezy made a take he don't like. But what did I say? Things that make sense with facts to base them around. So show me some motherfucking respect. That's why I'm your winner. Show the Eagles respect. We gonna win a championship. And then show my man Joel Embiid some respect. He went and cooked Jokic last week, and he's still not first on the MVP ladder board in the real NBA, and I'm fucking sick of it. Yeah, Jokic had a special season. He got his MVP last year. Should have been Joel's. Played half a season without Ben or James. Continued to kill shit when he went there. Made big shots against Pascal Siakam and them Toronto Raptors in that playoff series. Ended up losing to a strong team out there in Boston who ended up making the finals anyway. But the whole point is put respect on all of us because we deserve it, and that's it. The big win. Out of here.
Cause you know I'm winning me. Yeah, here we going to the party, yeah, right there. Hey, we ain't finna blow it all, yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, we put it, yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. Say, yeah, right there. Hey, hop in the Uber, call it the Bula, stole like Medusa. Ballin' like Musa, 960 just to fix her. Mixing the liquor, getting the liquor, calling it Henny. Yeah, fucking with Benny, you gon' get nothing, no penny. Yeah, I know Jenny, she is daddy, she fuck with plenty. Yeah, talking that shit, you gon' get Kobe. Yeah, coming through with a new thing, that's my new team. Yeah, she like the ring, back again, we got a new sting. All of these niggas be hating on King, we gon' get love. All of these niggas be giving a dub, all of they bitches be giving a hug. Talking that shit, you gon' get the plug. Fucking with Doug, me and Dave, we the new wave. Better hop on before it's too late. We stacking money and catching new play. Nigga, we ballin' like Randy Moss. All of these niggas gon' go for a toss. Nigga, I ain't never got a drink from the boss. Niggas know I be a big boss. Niggas know I invented the sauce. Clean like teeth, nigga always gon' floss. That band hit you with a cross. Yeah. BYB, and you know we stacking green. Yeah, she love me, cause she love the winning team. Yeah, you ain't me, cause you know I'm winning me. Yeah, if we gone to the party, yeah, right there. If we finna blow it